Do you snack while you read? Come on in, welcome to my home. This video is going to take a major turn in a way you're not expecting, so hang on. So I started this video off with the idea of, hey, I wonder if people have snacks while they're reading. And if you check down below in the description, I do have links to the resources that I looked at, and most of them said that the average person does not snack while they are reading, which I thought was pretty normal. I mean, they did say people were quite commonly drinking water, tea, or coffee. Okay, that makes sense. A couple people did throw in the whole juice and everything, but when it came to snacks, the majority of people are not snacking. However, the people who are snacking had some really great suggestions for snacks, and I was like, okay, let's check these out. And I mean, they were your common things from chips to popcorn to chocolate. I mean, they were just normal ideas. And my first thought was, well, maybe I should test these out to see how well these do when you consider what you're doing. Because the average person is holding a book. A book is made of paper. How well do these snacks react to paper? Because when you think about this, when you get into things like Cheetos, which can make your fingers go all orange if you're snacking on them, would that transfer to the paper? Well, yes and no. Here's what happens, what I found out from doing all this. When you think about if you are eating, doing mindless eating while you are watching TV, which doesn't really involve you doing much of anything, that eating is different. How is that eating different? Well, because you are not physically holding a piece of paper in your hand or a book or whatever, an e-book. You actually have the ability to just keep going back for more and more and more, which then of course gets your fingers coated in whatever coating your snack might have on it. Okay, so if that's the case, you have a tendency to eat less while you are reading than you would if you were watching TV. And on the surface of it, that totally makes sense, but then that also changes the dynamic of how would a book be affected by, say, like Cheetos. Well, if you're eating less, your fingers are going to get less coated with the orange substance that coats a Cheeto, whatever that may be, so you're going to be less likely to spread that Cheeto dust to your book. I guess that's a good thing. However, there is grease, so yeah, you can spread grease to a book. And I looked at a lot of different snacks. I mean, your normal snacks, your strange snacks. Pocky came to be one of the things that I heard a lot about. Chocolates, those sort of things. And since Valentine's Day did just happen, that is something to think about, that box of chocolates, which can very easily melt. And the thing which I found most likely for all of them was realistically they didn't leave a whole lot of residue on the paper. In fact, I left each snack on our piece of paper for a total of 5 minutes. And of course, the greasy snacks like, cashews, those left a residue. Other snacks like M&Ms, no residue. So I mean, it's pretty straightforward here. You can have healthy snacks, like you can have grapes and oranges and an apple. Those are great things. But why does this not exactly work? And I began to think, well, what about this is so strange? And it came to me. When you are reading, you are literally holding a book into your hand. Words are new to me today. You're literally holding your reading device or your book in your hand. So then with your other hand, which probably isn't your dominant hand, you have to reach for whatever it is you're reaching for. I've found that I have an awkward time just picking up a cup and putting it back. Yeah, so when I was trying to find snacks, my hands would roam everywhere and it was just awkward. So the first thing that I figured out is that if you're going to have snacks, prepare them, have them all prepared, take them out of the packaging, so that way as you're reading, you are not interrupting yourself to get a bite of whatever delicious, wonderful snack that you want to eat. And that made sense. That just kept going with the flow. You didn't have to put your book down to figure out where everything was. And I did hear things about people having sandwiches as a snack. I'm way too clumsy for that. Like, way too clumsy for that. There would be mayonnaise all over the place, so no sandwich for me for a snack. But then it became more of the whole, okay, so if I prepare my snacks, I'm going to want to prepare an amount of snacks that I'm going to actually eat in that sitting, and when I read, I don't know how long I'm going to read for. There are times when I read for 20 minutes, times where I read for 2 hours. Who knows? So having a snack that will last out that long is its own weird thing. So what I generally find, if I want to have a snack, I'll actually put my book down, go get the snack, and then, like, come back, and once I've done eating it, I'll go back to reading. But there's more to this. I mean, there's more to things like just having snacks than just having snacks, and I think this is where the whole thing took this weird turn. I was reading a book, and it had 3 triplets in it. 3 triplets. You know what I mean. It had triplets in it, and the triplets were having a snack of apples with peanut butter. I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty good. And then it dawned on me, what if books and authors and all those people who do this came up with a whole list of things at the beginning of a book which are like, hey, if you want a snack while reading this book, these would be great snacks for your book because these will keep you immersed in the world of the book. I think there'd be nothing better than to be immersed in the world of the book. Because when I'm reading, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep my mind in that whole realm of whatever it is I'm reading. Lately I've been reading a lot of urban fantasy. So yeah, if I can find something that goes along with that, because a lot of the books that I've been reading, they've been talking about specific food, you know, grandma's special salad recipe, tamales, what was the other one? The other one I think was a green chicken recipe. That'd be nice to have. It'd be a great way so that when I'm not reading, or if I want to keep in that whole vein of what everybody else is doing in the book, I can do that. And there's lots of product placement even in the book. And if you're, in case you're curious what product placement is, it's where, like, they mention something like M&M's, or the most famous one I can think of right off the top of my head is Reese's Pieces in the movie E.T. That's product placement, where this product is in there, and if you know it's in there and you're reading the book and you want to keep immersed in that book, having that snack would be really cool. Having a recipe from the book, which if you just followed my book review for, I think it's Talk Southern to Me, she does have the recipe for the pecan pie and another recipe in there, and that keeps you within the book, and you're like, wow, this is really cool. This is something which makes sense. And I mean, with some books, you know that if it's going to be a book in the South, you better have some sweet tea that you can drink along with that, because it makes sense. Now imagine if every book did that and you could keep within that realm. And I mean, I would even take that further so that I would say, if books had an ability to give you a playlist, yes, an actual playlist of music that you could listen to while you are reading your book. Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, so that you can have the music going along with it. But, I mean, that's pushing it, because some of us don't listen to music while we're reading, some of us do. But the snack part of that keeps that excitement going. You could even do the whole food part about that. There's a book called The Recipe Club. That book has recipes in it because they're an integral part of the book. But other books which don't have recipes that are an integral part could include them to make the whole experience of experiencing a book or reading the book even that much better, simply because it's more than just snacks. You are getting this immersive, almost Disney-esque feeling when you are reading, because you are now surrounded by the sights, the sounds, the smells, the taste of what you're experiencing. And that, I think, can make reading a book even better. So the next time you go to, get a snack while you're reading, you might think about what could these snacks be and what would be really cool to go along with this. Now, I've thought about this because I'm going to be doing a lot more on books, and I was interested to know, would you be interested in me giving you ideas to go along with books? Like for our next book, which is Miss Julia Speaks Her Mind, would you like me to give you some snack ideas to go along with that book? or some music ideas to go along with that book, let me know down in the comments. The next book after that one, which I've already picked out, that one has some really cool ideas for recipes, for food. Let me know if you'd like to have ideas for that, or any other book. Let me know down in the comments what you think about that. I'd like to take this time to thank these wonderful people who give me the opportunity to go through and decide what kind of snacks would go along with a book. It is a great chance for you to become a part of the Patreon family, where we talk about books and food and that sort of thing and what's happening on the channel. They get these videos early. They also get a weekly vlog, which they can then see what I'm doing behind the scenes. The Patreon family gets this, as does the YouTube membership people. They get the same things, and it's a fun way for you to actually really affect what's going on the channel. But I want to hear from you. Are you a reading snacker or not? Do you not do that? Do you have a certain snack that you enjoy while you're reading, or is this just one of those, whatever's handy I'll go with? And would it enhance your whole experience with a book if books did provide a list of, hey, here are some of the snacks or some of the things which could go along with this book because they're either mentioned in the book or it goes along with that experience? Let me know down in the comments what you think about that, and I hope I get to see you again the next time you stop by.